Come with me as we take on every Soulsborne, Souls-like, and Souls-kinda-like game that there is. In this series, we're going to take on every single boss in each of the games. Today we are going to be playing the sort of Souls-like isometric game from Acid Nerve called Death's Door. So we start off this game by hopping off a bus into our headquarters of the Reaper Commission. In this game we play as a crow that works for a Reaper Commission claiming giant souls. We head over to Chandler the Handler to get our first mission. Then we are going to head out to the Grove of Spirits to claim our first giant soul. After getting used to the controls just a little bit, we take care of it on the second attempt. And then we get whacked in the back of the head and robbed by another giant crow. We then make our way into the Lost Cemetery area, where we are going to meet our first main character of the game, the Gravedigger.
Emotional damage!
This spot is essentially a tutorial teaching you how to do different, stronger attacks, but this guy is just kind of acting like we're not strong enough to do anything, which is fun. We then make our way through this entire zone and get to the next boss, the Guardian of the Door. Not too bad of a boss fight, got caught by a few punches, but still learning the game at this point. Then we're going to head over to meet the crow that hit us in the back of the head. This is the Gray Crow, and he's going to give us our main story quest of the game. Basically, he was on a mission like us to get a giant soul, but he lost it behind this door and needs more giant souls in order to break down this door. And therein lies our main quest of the game, to help him get more giant souls in order to get through this door. And our first stop in this conquest is going to be the estate of the Urn Witch to, you guessed it, take out the Urn Witch. But not before we meet the Urn Witch's grandson. This man's name is Pothead. Yep. And I have seen online that people referred to this guy as a boss in the game. I didn't count him towards the total, but I just wanted to show that I did fight him in the game, actually several times, and this is just the first one. So we get into the ceramic manor of the Urn Witch, and we see this door that we need 4 souls to open. The souls all look like this, and they're all locked behind puzzles located in this area, and like I said earlier, we need 4 of them to unlock that big door. After that first soul, we run into the witch, who just looks like Yubaba from Spirited Away. We find the 4th soul here, which is going to trigger that door opening, and we can actually go through it now. Through the door, we are back in what looks like the headquarter area, and we find this chest, which just looks like a treasure chest, but it's actually a mimic from Dark Souls. We got absolutely baited there. Inside of this chest is going to be a gauntlet of 4 waves of enemies named Avarice, and once we get through all 4 waves of enemies, we're going to come out of the chest and we are going to get a new spell. This time we got the Fireball spell. So then we head back to the Ceramic Manor, we run into the witch again, and turns out she kidnapped Pothead. So naturally, we gotta go get our boy back. After several attempts, we finally get the witch down and we trigger this cutscene that shows that we have now obtained her giant soul. Then we are transported to another part that looks like the headquarters and we meet the Lord of the Doors, who just kind of proves to be a dickhead. With the first giant soul in our possession, we head to the next area for the second giant soul, the Overgrown Ruins. Where we meet the Forest Mother, who can unlock the castle for us but needs her instrument back first. So naturally we go and we find her little pipe thing and we take it back to her and she unlocks the castle for us. Inside the castle we come face to face with our next boss, the King of the Swamp. But of course, before we can get to him, we have to go get 4 more souls that will unlock another big metal door, and then also go get a new spell to progress through the area. This time we get the bomb spell. So then we make our way to the flooded fortress area, which is going to lead us to the King of the Swamp boss. And so here we're going to fight the King of the Swamp, the Guardian of the Flooded Fortress, the Lord of his domain, the ruler of all he surveys, champion of the people, keeper of the 5 O's, first of his name, second of his name. I'm not reading all of that. It took me a while to figure out his mechanics, but we ended up getting him on the first attempt. After acquiring the second giant soul, we go and we take out the Black Knight for the second time. And then we head to Castle Lockstone, which is the third area to get the third giant soul. And in this area, you guessed it, we need to get 4 more souls to open another giant door to get another spell. This time we get the hook shot spell, the last spell in the game, and it's essentially just a grappling hook. So then we head to the old watchtowers, which is closer to the third boss we're gonna fight, and then we finally get to the third boss, Betty.
Damn, boy, he's thick! Boy, that's a thick-ass boy!
I died to that boss more than any other in the entire game, but we finally took down Betty and got the third giant soul, and now we can go back to the Grey Crow and progress the story. With the 3 souls, we finally get the door open and we progress through to meet the best rendition of the Grim Reaper I think I have ever seen. He's just a little tiny dude and he's got a fanny pack and I think it's great. And basically he tells the Grey Crow that that soul that he thought he lost is not in this area and the Grey Crow's quest has been all for nothing. To which for some reason he turns on us. And Death just kind of nopes out of here, which is hilarious.
Bruh. Oh, come on!
After a few attempts, we finally get the Grey Crow down. We go back to headquarters and we see that Vaga, a crow that we had met earlier in the game, has essentially led a rebellion against the Lord of Doors. But before we progress the story, there are spell upgrade bosses that I need to go take out. Now again, I didn't count these towards the main total of bosses in the game, but I've seen people online speak of them like their bosses, so I figured I would go take them out and leave the footage in here anyway. So killing the red one gives us the bow and arrow upgrade. Killing the orange one gives us the flame spell upgrade. Killing the blue one gives us the bomb spell upgrade. And then killing the green one gives us the hook shot upgrade. With all of those taken care of, it's time to go fight the Lord of Doors. Now this boss was kind of neat, but also kind of frustrating in that we fought it like a boss, but then it just kind of led us through every zone we had been through in the game so far and gained new abilities every time it was in a new zone. And we also had to chase it through these gauntlet of bold doors. So here we're in the witches area. Here we're in the frogs area. And then here we are in Betty's area. If you make it through all that alive, you trigger the final boss fight, the Last Lord.
Help me! Help me!
Fuck you!
And with that, all of the main bosses are down, but there is still one more secret boss to go take care of. And that boss is our old friend, the Gravedigger. And with that, all of the bosses in the game are taken care of, and the game is complete. I would very much recommend this game if you just want kind of a cute, cartoony style game with some puzzles and some slightly difficult bosses. It's obviously a super short game. There are only 8 actual bosses in the game, and total playtime for me was about 7.5 hours, so not too bad. But as always, if you've made it this far in the video, I appreciate your time. Thanks for hanging out with me, and I will see you next time. Peace!